Okay, y'all. So the book reviews are in from the beta readers. So I finished the book. It's about 80,000 words now. And although I'm self-publishing, I really wanted to, let me put my phone down. I really wanted to go through all of the traditional publishing steps to make it the best quality book possible because this is a very special project to me. It is downloads directly transmissions from God, and it's like things that I don't understand really. And it includes a lot of my stories and a bunch of it's you'll see as I talk about it and as you hear the reviews, but I I really wanted it to be quality material, not just, oh, this is a good book, but this is well quality. Like, okay, it almost seems like there's Penguin or Random House or Hay House behind it. So I've hired coaches. I had my first coach, Liz, Elizabeth later, shout out to Liz. And then my now second coach, Erin Worley. I hired coaches. I also joined the Hay House Writers community. Like I took it very seriously because I didn't want to just have a ghostwriter to kind of share my story. I wanted to really dive deep into the process, learn the process, and do all the things. So after I've done my part, which was the 80,000 words, the next step, according to my coaches and all the people, the next step would be the editor. So I hired an editor on Upwork and at the same time, simultaneously hired beta readers. For those of you who don't know what beta readers are, essentially for every product service that a company puts out, ideally, you would like to take a small group of people to test out that product or service on before releasing it to the public to kind of get feedback on this product or service to see, okay, should we make any adjustments prior to releasing it to everyone, right? That's essentially what a beta group, a test group is. And of course, for a book, the essentially the beta test group would be known as beta readers. So as I received all this information from God throughout this process, throughout my own personal self-love journey that I would be writing the book, I also received, okay, this is going to be an international thing for everyone. It's going to unite people together. So, all sexes, all religions, all races, all countries, like all around the world. So, with that being said, I also wanted the beta group to reflect that as well, because I didn't want to have all of them from only my region, my area, my side of the world, and therefore would have a lot of similar background, upbringings, exposure that I have. So, kind of skewed the data and the results, right? And if I know how to do anything, I know how to run a proper experiment based upon all of my clinical research background and education, right? So the sample pool includes readers all over the world, men, women, and different age groups. So today I want to read to you a review that I got from a young lady in Bangladesh. And I'm not going to read everything because in the interest of time, but I'm going to read like her main review and then some of the highlights. But overall, one of the questions that I asked them was, if you were to review this book on Amazon, how many stars would you give it and why? Please be honest. That was the very one requirement for all of them, was like 100% honesty, transparency. Like this will only help better the book and get to reach the people who it needs to reach. And she gave it 5 stars, y'all. She said, I loved it. The writing, the emotions, the lessons, everything. It's not just motivational, it's healing. I felt every word. The right book at the right time. This book was a need I wasn't aware of. No, I'm not saying nice things because I got paid. I mean, every word I said. And just so you know, a side note, beta readers, you do pay beta readers. Typically, anyways, I guess you could not. But just like I said, with any test group testing a product or service, typically you will get paid. It's a small amount, but still you do get paid for your time. So that's why she said that part. So now to her whole review. And side note, before I go into this, it's like I have been reading through these things so I could see what I maybe needed to take back to the editor, to my coach, to myself, to my spiritual team, to God, and see, okay, do we want to make these adjustments? And it's just been like so many amazing, positive, wonderful just like mind blowing comments and reviews and feedbacks that it's like, I'm sitting here looking for the criticism, and I'm like, I have prepared myself so much for the criticism and the critiques and all the hard work and all the changes I was gonna have to make that y'all, I didn't even prepare myself for the good news. And it's always been so overwhelming. And so that's another thing me and my coach have been talking about, that people, especially in the spiritual community, don't talk about the overwhelming feelings that come along with being in this true high frequency and place of true joy and gratitude and fulfillment. And yay, I'm doing it. I'm walking my path. I'm walking and living in purpose. Like, it's been so high that it has literally been hurting physically. And I talked to my coach about that, and she's, yeah, that's it. That's a part of it. And it's also a part of the manifestation process. And us, we being able to take not only the low lows, but the high highs, and they all go hand in hand. You can't get the high highs without the low lows, those sad, deep, dark moments. And then that's when you get those joy, wonderful, oh my God moments. But it also can come with a certain level of like pain because we aren't used to it. And it's like an adjustment period, and was like, oh my God, like it brought me to my knees at a certain point, just crying and thinking about the overwhelming responses. So you'll see in a minute. Keeping in mind, like, I'm not a trained author. I just worked really hard at trying to perfect my craft. One of my favorite authors, Gabrielle Bernstein, I love her story and how she talks about how she learned and worked hard to become an actual writer. Wayne Dyer, another one of my favorites, Louise Hay. It's it's something that I wanted to take serious. So it's like to get this amount of feedback, and I feel like the tears is coming on again. I did want to cry during these videos. That's what's been taking me so long to record them. I'm still working on myself. So I guess if the tears flow, they need to flow, right? But you'll see in a minute. So this is from a young lady in Bangladesh, and I know this has been a long intro, but here we go. When I started, I told myself I just read it for feedback. But the moment I began, it didn't feel like a beta reading anymore. It felt personal. The dedication, the words, everything pulled me in. The author's struggle felt so real, like she wasn't trying to impress anyone, but just being honest. I loved how the writing kept me focused. I didn't even get distracted for a second. Chapter one was a little repetitive because she already shared parts of her story before, but it didn't make me lose interest. It made me feel like something powerful was coming next. The way the author adds do this and try that moments, like lighting a candle or journaling, made it feel like she's right there with me. And those little cheer up notes after each part, I loved those. They made me feel seen and understood. And y'all don't, like, these are literally things that I wrote down before my coach has us to do this blueprint process for all of your creations. I did a blueprint, and these are things that I literally put in my blueprint, y'all, the impact that I wanted to leave on every single reader. So to see these words, knowing that I literally wrote those words myself, saying that this is the type of impact that I want to leave on my reader, it's just like mind blowing, truly miracles, truly miraculous, truly like magic, y'all. Chapter two really hit me. It asked questions about everyday life that we never stop to think about. It made me see things differently. The definition of love in that chapter was so deep, it felt like something that could heal people. Heal people. Heal people. I loved how she explained love through science, the Bible, and spirituality. It made everything sound trustworthy and real. And this line, self hate is a master of disguise. It dresses up as responsibility, humility, ambition, even love. I felt that in my bones. It's so real. It's something I'll never forget. And this one, do it 1%. What's the smallest loving action I can take in 60 to 90 seconds? That's going to be my daily reminder from now on. I swear this book will heal me and thousands of others. I'm not exaggerating. I'm damaged and I needed this. Now, chapter 4 made me a little conflicted. Y'all, I said I would I wasn't gonna cry. Chapter 4 made me a little conflicted. My religion sees God differently, but I was open to understanding. I've read about other faiths too, the Bible, Hinduism, Jainism, so I was ready to take in new ideas. I actually realized I could apply the conversation with God idea in my own way, just like my faith teaches. And that's what made it so beautiful. Even if we believe differently, the message still fits. Though I did feel the obstacles, part sounded a bit harsh, almost like it was saying only one path is right, but still the practices were amazing, so relatable and helpful. When I started, I thought I'd read it once and be done, but this book made me stop and take my time. I did everything calmly, step by step. I reread parts because I wanted to feel them, not just read them. The mirror practice, wow, it felt ethereal, like something beyond words. And y'all, I had to look that up. And I don't even know if I'm still pronouncing it right, but ethereal, Ethereal. I had to look it up, and it was like something too delicate to be of this world. I'm not even going, that's all I'm gonna say. That's what she said, y'all, about a book that randomly came to me for a topic that was far removed from me in a moment that was very low for me, and I didn't know how to make I was gonna make it happen. Literally was just listening to God, literally step by step, literally day by day, moment by moment, question by question, task by task. Whew. So the mirror practice, wow, it felt ethereal, like something beyond words. I believed this book would change me, and it did. But sometimes I felt a bit unsure. Is it teaching self-love, spirituality, or manifestation? It's clear, but still feels like it's leading to something bigger that I can't see yet. Am I unlocking power within me? Can I use it to help others too? It made me think a lot. The self confession part was deep. I didn't want to rush it, I wanted to live with it for a while. Honestly, I didn't want this book to end. To hear that, I guess, hits deep because I didn't even want to write this book. And I was so mad that it was a part of my path. When I realized that that was the next step if I really wanted to be aligned and walk in my purpose, I was pissed. So to hear her say that she didn't want it to end, at first I thought the name Falling Madly in Self Love sounded kind of average, not catchy enough. But by the end, I realized it's perfect. The name fits so beautifully with the message. Though I think the book might attract mostly women, it has a very feminine energy in the writing. Maybe with some little changes, it could connect with more men too. And y'all, I've included men in the test group, and they've said the same thing, same responses. So I've already addressed that. This book helped me see myself, my power, and my worth. It also made me wish there was more about how to use that love and power to treat others with the same grace, like maintaining relationships with that same energy. And that line about your mom keeping your book, so touching. Also, when you said you're doing surgery with words and energy, that was beautiful. You really did that. I'm scared to compliment too much because I don't want it to sound fake or because I'm a beta reader. But honestly, this book hugged me when I needed it the most. Y'all, I literally said, I want my book to make the reader feel like a huge, warm hug, a warm embrace. And she said, this book hugged me when I needed it the most. Thank you for writing this. I'm so glad I read it. In chapter 1, she put for the things that she liked, it was honest start, strong connection to the author's story, emotional and real. For chapter 2, she put it was eye-opening questions, beautiful definition of love, mix of science and spirituality, felt powerful. For chapter 4, she put that it was deep, thoughtful concept of connecting with God and made her think. And then chapter 5, uplifting tone and strong reminders about self-worth. Chapter 6, beautiful flow, comforting words that calmed the mind. Chapter 7, the self-confession idea, very emotional and healing. Chapter 8, motivating and honest, loved how it cheered the reader up. Chapter 9 felt personal and powerful, made me reflect on my own emotions. Chapter 10, mirror practice section, felt magical and real. Chapter 11, empowering energy, reminded me of how capable I am. Chapter 12, balanced tone, comforting and spiritual all at once. Chapter 13, emotional depth, made me pause and think deeply. Chapter 14, honest, raw reflections, especially about healing. And chapter 15, perfect wrap up, warm, hopeful, and felt like a hug. I can't believe it, y'all. I can't believe it. Falling madly in self-love, the real secret to manifesting your dream life by Jasmyn Quianna, dropping 11/11/2025. Be on the lookout, get your copy. Join the wait list, catch it in my bio or the comments, depending on where you're watching this. 5-star review. 5-star review. I can't believe it, y'all. I can't believe it. Like, I knew it, and this is what I've been working to create. But now that I'm living it, it's like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So if you have a dream, if you have a thought, if you have an idea, even if it sounds crazy, even if it sounds insane, even if everybody is telling you not to do it, you don't have the tools, you don't have the resources, you don't have the education, you don't have the background, you don't have the experience. Even if parts of you are telling your own self, that other part came up with it for a reason. That's the part you lean into. That's the divine. That's God. That's truth. We want to lean into that. That's the secret. That's the key. That's where you tap into what's meant for you, that dream life. Claiming your God given birthright, living abundantly, freely, prosperously, bigger and better than you could ever imagine, more freely, more with ease. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of breakdowns to the breakthrough. Y'all know I'm going to keep reminding you, but it's so worth it and it's so beautiful. Falling madly in self love. Get your copy.